Hello everybody! We would have liked to travel to see our friends from Bring in Battle and celebrate the 30th anniversary of Warhammer 40k 2nd edition, but it is too far. We've promised to do 1 or 2 games and this is our first contribution. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten about Storm of Vengeance and we've played scenario once more and dropped it. Yeah. We'll go on with scenario 6 next time. Okay, today the first of our anniversary 2nd edition games, and it's a really cool one. Alex had got the brilliant idea to do a White Dwarf battle report, at least our version of it.
Okay guys, hello from me also. As Marcus mentioned just before, we are really excited to replay a battle report from the White Dwarf. It was published in the German White Dwarf number 13. It's the same battle report published in the UK White Dwarf 202, and in the UK White Dwarf it is called A Warrior's Duty, and that's the German edition with Ian Pickstock and Adrian Wood. Two amazing pictures of the guys in former times. Okay, and we read the battle report and we decided to play as close as it was published in the White Dwarf concerning the terrain, as you will see in a minute, and also using the same psychic powers, strategy card and missions. Unfortunately, for the Eldar, we only detected 3 of the psychic powers. So we have to draw the 4th of them by random, and also in the deployment phase we agreed that we both deployed the units in a fashion which we like most and not exactly as deployed for the battle report. But except from these
the armies are composed
composed exactly the same and equipped exactly the same as described in the White Dwarf 202 article, Warrior's Duty. We hope you enjoy the forthcoming battle report. Okay, these are my 1500 points of the Eldar Aspect army from the White Dwarf battle report. As you can see, the army is led by an avatar of Cain, which I use, to be honest, not very often, but so it's quite interesting to use this guy in this battle report. He's obviously the army commander. Furthermore, I've got an Farseer, who is equipped with a witch plate, and as I have drawn the special issue strategy card, and it was very fortunate in the battle report in the White Dwarf, because the special issue strategy card means that you can
choose a random card out of 100
out of 100 warrior cards, and
most of them shit.
and he obviously draw the vortex grenade, so the Farseer is also equipped with a vortex grenade beside his witch plate, which allows him to store unused force cards and even enhances his strength in close combat and gives him the ability to parry. As mentioned before, only 3 psychic powers were mentioned in the battle report, so I draw 1 by random and I got Fortune and also Executioner, Doom and Eldritch Storm.
That's a great mixture.
And because I've got only 1 Psyche and you have none, so I assume that there will not so many force cards, so they are relatively cheap powers, most of them, except Eldritch Storm. I think that's the case because it was never used in a battle report in the White Dwarf. Furthermore, I got Traitor as my second strategy card, and my mission for this battle report is the Assassins, meaning I have to kill the enemy army commander. Okay, beside my 2 character models, I have a complete beautiful army of only Aspect Warriors. The only Aspect Warriors which are missing are the Shining Spears, but I think there weren't no models in 2nd edition. Actually, they came at the beginning of the 3rd edition. Okay, let's see what we have. We have 5 fire dragons with their melter guns.
And you painted them?
Yeah. Then we have 3 Dark Reapers with their missile launchers and rangefinder. Then we've got 5 Swooping Hawks, which will come quite handy maybe because they can fly high and descend on the battlefield and lob some grenades. Then we haven't used them really not very often, the 4 Warp Spiders, which can jump into the warp and even jump twice during one movement phase and in a shooting phase, withdraw, and have the huge flamer template for the monofilament gun. So let's see how they perform in this battle. Then you know them, the Striking Scorpions. We use them rather often in our 1000 point battles, 5 of them. And the last Aspect Warriors which I painted recently were the Dire Avengers with their famous helm crests. They are equipped with shuriken catapults and have a better weapon and ballistic skill compared to the Guardians.
That's great work, and you've painted most of your army. Yeah. It's a shame you couldn't use your
jet bikes,
excellent Warlock. The excellent Warlock model. Yeah.
Maybe next time. Okay, and finally the last aspect are the Howling Banshees with their famous Banshee masks. If they reach those combat, of course, because they're rather fragile and have only toughness 3 as every Eldar, and
I'm looking forward to bombing them into oblivion.
Rather weak armor, but they're very fast, so let's see how they perform in today's battle. Okay, hopefully this will be enough to kill the enemy army commander.
Okay, and these are my 1500 points of Imperial Guard. I've got a Caledon Command, Headquarters, Squad Captain with less pistol and sword as normal, carapace armor plus bolt gun and power fist. 2 troopers with less guns, wearing flak armor, frag grenades, and 2 special weapons, 1 melee gun, 1 plasma gun. I've got a heavy squad as well, including 2 less cannons and 1 heavy bolter, and they've got the veteran special ability Slick Crew, which allows them to shoot once more after they've hit. And there's 1 regular squad. Sergeant has got a less pistol, sword, bolt pistol and chain sword, frag grenades and flag. Troopers less guns, frag grenades, flag armor, and 1 flamer should be included, 1 heavy bolter, and they are supposed to be freedom fighters. And on we go with our tank. They bring along a Hellhound, which has got an Inferno cannon and a heavy bolter. The Inferno cannon is nearly as capable as the Sisters Immolator. Okay, then we've got my Assassin. It's a lot of points for a small game of 1500 points. An Eversaw with his Executioner pistol, combat drugs, Sentinel array, melter bombs, power sword, and his gauntlet, of course. It's not a power fist, but causes extreme pain if it causes a wound, which halves the characteristics of the enemy. And the Neuro Gauntlet, I think, even has strength 7, so it's kind of close to a power fist. So next we've got our Cadians. Thanks to Alex for giving me his painted troops, because my huge Imperial Guard force consists of unpainted models, or nearly of unpainted models only. We've got a Cadian command squad including a lieutenant with less battle sword carapace and a shotgun. And we've got 2 troopers with melter guns, 1 with heavy bolter, heavy weapon team. And on we go with the first of 2 Cadian squads. Sergeant with less battle sword, frag grenades, flag armor, and the troopers have got frag grenades and flag armor as well, and also 1 autocannon and 1 melter gun. And they are freedom fighters. It's the same with the second squad, although they have a plasma gun instead of an autocannon, but they are freedom fighters as well. And we've got a second tank, which is the Lehman Russ, with a battle cannon, less cannon, hull mounted, less cannon, and 2 heavy bolters in the side sponsons. And these are my 1,500 points. Oh, and these are my stormtroopers, I nearly forgot them. Thanks Alex for reminding me of them. Yeah, stormtroopers were included in the original army. I've got a cool Kasrakin unit, but they, I think, came out later and don't have heavy weapons. So I replaced the stormtroopers with some of my cool Steel Legion guys, and they've got a plasma gun and a heavy bolter, and they are dead-eye shots. So, and that's it for my army. I've got Look Out Sir as the original choice in the game back then, brilliant strategy, and my mission card is Take and Hold. We agreed on the acid pool in the middle of our battlefield. Okay, as you can see, both forces have been deployed. I had to go first because I'm strategy only 2 and Alex is 4.
Yeah, they used my traitor to cancel out your...
Brilliant strategy, yeah, before I could even roll the dice. As you can see, the tanks are missing as well as the assassin. That's because the assassin infiltrates, whereas the tanks are kept as, or held as reserves. They, just in case Alex starts, I don't want them to be hit by the Dark Reapers because they don't have reinforced armor or ablative armor, stuff like that. So they appear later on. Our table is only a narrow table, and therefore we try to keep the 24 inches of battle zone. And therefore the deployment zones are only around 6 to 7 inches on each side. We deployed up to the edges of the table because we saw that the original battle report did likewise. And as you can see, we tried to copy the terrain, although using rather ice terrain.
Yeah, and we agreed that the woods here,
the forest, yeah,
and the spiky woods here, the cacti wood,
the nice one.
The crystal wood are completely woods, so all models within the woods.
So we've got 3 forests, 1, 2, and 3.
The acid pool.
Yeah, the bunker is our replacement for the industrial plant with the storage tanks. Okay.
And as we mentioned before, the take and hold objective for the Imperial Guard is in the middle of the battle zone.
Our acid pool. Yeah. Okay, let's start with your deployment.
Okay, I put my striking scorpions on my left flank in order to get close to the enemy on the other side.
They're out in the open. Fire dragons?
My fire dragons, they're rather short range with their weapons, so let's see what they how they will perform today. My Dark Reapers, it's not a very good position because I have no elevated position in my deployment zone, so I put them in the middle of the battle zone. They are a little bit shielded from the bunker from this side, and from the woods in this side, so obviously I don't see so much at the beginning, but maybe if the tanks appear from my opponent, maybe they got some valuable targets. Behind them, the warp spiders. Inside the Cacti wood, my army commander, the Avatar and the Farseer. Right beside them, the Dire Avengers. And in the Crystal Wood, my Howling Benches and my Swooping Hawks.
Okay, and they are facing... I haven't split it up. The Canadian Heavy Weapon Squad, including 2 autocannons and a heavy bolter, is on the hill facing most of the Eldar's force who hasn't emerged from the forest yet. My dead eye shot Armageddon Steel Legion replacement for the Stormtroopers is next to them, and as you can see, here are my Freedom Fighters, Canadian squad, but the heavy weapon team split off. Here we've got the heavy bolter, 1 Freedom Fighter Canadian squad is inside the forest. The other one is behind it, right behind, and a split of Cadian autocannon. Hopefully, I really have to rely on the tank's weapons and the autocannon and the less cannon in order to kill the enemy Avatar. And my command squad hidden behind the hill, the other one kind of exposed, except for the heroically hiding lieutenant, and the split off, it's from the Canadian squad heavy weapon team, which is a heavy bolter. Okay, and now we can roll. Alex has got 4.
For my strategy rating, oh, so it's only 5. Just a quick explanation, we decided to really roll off for the battle.
I'll re-roll it because it was a 6. Now it's a 2. Now I've got
4.
Yeah.
And I've got 5.
It's less, so you
I
go
start
first.
the battle as in the battle report in the White Dwarf.
The original battle.
Because we deployed in a different manner, so we decided really to roll off for the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, but before I move, Marcus can do his preliminary barrage, and we'll be back, I think, after my movement phase.
Yeah, and inform you about the results of my barrage.
Okay, fantastic start for the Eldar. Not. Okay. First of all, the preliminary barrage has no effect on my army because it was a misfire, a dud, and thus in my movement phase my striking scorpions rushed towards the enemy, as well as my fire dragons to enter the industrial complex building by running. My Dark Reapers as well as my Dire Avengers went on overwatch. My warp spiders jumped 18 inches towards the enemy and positioned behind hard cover in order to unleash their monofilaments maybe next turn if they survive the tank onslaught. My Howling Banners remained in the woods on overwatch in order maybe to rush to the critical mission objective maybe.
That's a great
later.
idea, because they are fast, and although
Fast
they
and fragile.
don't have a heavy armor, they'd only be exposed for the last 1 or 2 turns.
And my Swooping Hawks flew to the heavy weapon team, thus revealing the assassin, who is positioned behind the wall. And then in the shooting phase, I was really unfortunate. As you can see, they throw their grenades with their grenade pack and only killed 1 of the less cannons. And then they are able to shoot with their less guns, and I think either they missed or failed to wound the Imperial Guardsmen. So that's the end of the shooting phase, no hand-to-hand combat yet. In the psychic phase, we got only 3 warp cards because with only 1 psyker, thus rolling only 1d6. and I kept one warp card in reserve for my Fascia. And that's the end of my first turn.
And you've discarded Destroy Power.
Because it doesn't make sense, because you don't have a cycle, so...
And me, I've discarded only 5. Okay. Okay, that's the end of my first movement phase. As you can see, my tanks are still in reserve. Most of my troops haven't moved that much in order to be able to shoot. Like, for instance, the heavy bolter of the Cading Command onto the Striking Scorpions, the split of heavy bolter of the Caledons onto the Striking Scorpions as well. They went on Overwatch, but the autocannon is going to try its luck on the freshly emerged Warp Spiders. They advanced a little to gain the plus somewhat bonus. As you can see from the dropped minis, Dire Avengers used their Overwatch and killed 2 of them, and you can see another model which surprised me very much. But on the other hand, it is a 200 somewhat model which is nearly unprotected like the Eldar Avatar. The assassin used his combat rugs and used the one which allows him to triple his movement when charging, so came out at the edge of the Warp Spider Squadron, but one of the 3 Dark Reapers, they couldn't ignore emerging from cover, but the -2 for speed was on Overwatch, and one of the cracked
was
missiles.
Really lucky because only one really wounded, and I rolled a D10 and scored 10 wounds for the assassin.
And he's only got a dodge, so he's gone. Bye bye. Dear Eversor. Great model back then.
But it's really the old assassin model, because I think they published 4 different assassins in 2nd edition, and that's the first assassin model which they produced.
Okay, and they went on Overwatch. They are going to try their luck on the Dire Avengers. They advanced in order to spread their traps, their booby traps, into the building because they are freedom fighters. My Deadeye shot stormtroopers turned in order to gain a +1 for short range on the less guns, less pistol, stuff like that. Trying to target the Swooping Hawks, and they, my courageous didn't turn in order to use the less cannon and heavy bolter first. I thought, let's put them on Overwatch just in case the Avatar emerges or our enemy Warlock. But I think they are better off targeting the Warp Spiders as well. Because of the hard cover, they only hit on 6s, but even if they hit, they'll be allowed to do another shot because they are slick crew. Okay, let's get started.
With the shooting phase.
First of all, 1 heavy bolter onto them. I'll hit on 4s. They haven't moved more than 10 inches. They haven't emerged from cover. So let's try my luck. No. The second one. This one is on 6.
Hits definitely.
Yeah.
2 sustained fire.
2 dice.
Ooh, 5 hits.
5 hits. Its strength somewhat 5 versus 3, so it's probably on 2s. Let's just roll. Yeah. I think I can spread my fire within 4 inches of the first one, so they're probably 3 within. And heavy bolt is -2, but you've got strong armor compared to the Banshees. I think
so
you've got 5 plus.
2, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Okay. First one, 5 up armor save.
No.
Second one, 5 up armor save. No. Third one, no. Okay.
So 3 are dead, and you have to take a break test.
3 striking scorpions gone. Should I
8.
reroll?
8 is okay. No, that's okay. So on we go with our first autocannon. The autocannon onto your Warp Spiders. Let's say on a 6. I don't think they would benefit from any veteran abilities. And then we've got another autocannon. Let's roll. No. And we've got 1, 2, 3, let's say 4 guys on 6s.
Okay, one hit.
One hit. Strength toughness on a 4. Yep. And it's a -1. So we've got a 4+ armor save left.
No.
No, so one is dead. Okay, this is more interesting. My heavy bolter onto...
The die Avengers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's Armageddon Steel Legion, so this is a dead eye shot and can re-roll onto your die Avengers. On, no, not on 2s, but maybe on 3s. No, on 4s. This was on my part. Okay, now we've got one heavy bolter. It's slick crew, so I'll hit on 6s. Yeah. Warp spiders, no. And the less cannon on 6s, no. And because of slick crew, this is rubbish. I think I wouldn't have chosen any of their veteran abilities even.
Which they used, yeah.
And now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regular guys. And we agreed on 5s because we're going to try to shoot the ones in the open first.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 5s.
Oh, another single hit.
And now my melter gun. No. Nobody's died.
No, that was not such a good... This was good.
This was really great because now your eagles won't even have to take a panic test, or your hawks, and can lob some more grenades on their way to the next destination. Okay, I think this is nearly all of my shooting.
Okay, on to the psychic phase.
And only 2 guys have died so far.
Oh, 3 striking scorpions and 1 warp spider.
Yeah, so these are 4. Oh, you have to take a break test for the warp spiders.
No?
Yeah, 10.
Oh, maybe they are in range of the army commander.
Okay.
18 inches?
No, I think it's 12.
But they are within range.
If you say so. Okay. Now we've got...
Psychic phase?
Yeah. 1 dice. And it's a 1, so
you've got
only one card for me. And I think we can discard it because I don't have Psyker. And that's the end of my first turn.
Okay, back at the end of the movement phase of the second Eldar turn. My 2 remaining striking scorpions leapt behind cover in the mountain in order to get not vaporized by the heavy bolters. My fire dragons surged forward and positioned themselves behind hard cover in the industrial complex. My Dark Reapers again went on Overwatch, as well as the Die Avengers, as well as the Howling Banshees. My Phase and Avatar remained in the Cacti wood. My Warp Spiders in the movement phase leapt 6 inches towards the enemy in order to use the Deathbinner monofilament guns. And my Swooping Hawks decided this turn to charge into the heavy weapons, because last turn with their grenade pack and shooting was so unsuccessfully, so I hope maybe with the 1+ combat result for charging and the weapon skill 1 more than the Imperial Guard, maybe it's more successful to charge the heavy weapons. Okay, so the only unit which can shoot actually are the 3 remaining Warp Spiders. And the first one puts the template. Maybe I'll remove the wood. So let's say those 2 are wholly covered.
Yeah, they are dead on 3s.
You have to roll against the initiative.
Yeah.
And I got a +1 to my roll because they are wholly covered by the death filament. So 1 survived and 1 is dead.
You might choose which one. Yeah. And the second one.
And the second one. I think he shoots that way. So let's say 5 are covered wholly and 1 is touched.
Okay.
Okay, let's roll for those 3 which are in the wood, which are wholly covered. So 2 of them are dead. Then this one was only partially covered, so you don't get the +1, it's not hit, and those 2 guys are wholly under the template, so those 2 are dead as well.
Okay.
And the last, he just shoots at the weapon.
Yeah.
Gets +1 to the die roll. Yeah, so it's 4. 3 + 1. So this guy is also dead.
So the heavy weapon is gone. And where's the loader of the heavy weapon?
Your models, maybe.
Has it been removed yet? Okay.
But you position it here. So maybe the loader is still...
Okay.
Let's say he's still alive. Okay.
So there's the heavy weapon left.
Yeah.
And I remove these ones.
Those 4 from this.
So we've got 2 break tests. 1, and I think they won't make it. Because it's only on 7, the first one.
Ooh,
Yeah. Double 6, and the other one is okay. Yeah. So they'll remain in the forest where they are in cover and get a broken cover, broken marker, whereas the others are fine up to the close combat over there.
Yeah, that was the shooting phase, and now I've jumped only 6 inches, so they are allowed to move another 12 inches. So I decide to jump back into hard cover. Okay, on to the close combat. So let's start with the 2 Swooping Hawks, which are fighting the heavy bolter crew.
Okay, the first
Let's say one is on the gunner, one on the loader.
The one against the gunner first, because the gunner gets a -1 for carrying a heavy weapon or being attached to a heavy weapon.
Okay, weapon skill 4 plus 3 is 7. Charging 8.
I've got 8 as well, but you've got a high initiative.
1 for the gunner, yeah.
So you've got...
So 1 hit, 4 plus 2 wound. No. So it's good. Then the next Swooping Hawk. 4 plus 4 is 8, charging 9.
Okay, the regular guy. I've got 6.
Okay,
so you've got 3 hits.
On the force, so 1. So he's killed.
With a less pistol? Is it -1? Or just...
Let's check in. They have flak armor. Don't they?
I've got a 6+ save. So if the less pistol is -1,
oh no, there's no save modifier.
Okay, so in case of a 6...
Oh, he saved.
Yeah.
Very good.
So this one remains.
Shooting as well as hand-to-hand grip is not so brilliant today. Okay, then 2 of 5. Let's start with the first one against the gunner.
The gunner. So it's a -1 for me.
Good. It's 6 plus 4 is 10.
He's dead for sure. You get 1 fumble from
11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
13 means I've got 6 plus 3, 9 hits in total.
Yeah.
Okay, 9
and their
times.
strength 3 with a toughness 3.
5 hits, or 5 wounds.
Yeah.
So 5 times 6 up, Marcus. Come on. Almost.
Yeah, nearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I have 2 Swooping Hawks left.
And the other 2 will fight
The loader.
the unencumbered. Yeah.
So it's 3 plus 4 is 7, charging 8.
I've got 6.
So 2 times 4 up. So 2 wounds.
No.
Okay.
So this one can be removed. And you can do follow-ups. We've already done this one. You're unharmed.
Intact. Okay.
You can do follow-ups.
Okay.
So on we go with the psychic phase.
This was the close combat phase.
1 dice.
The psychic phase 3. starting with me because it's my turn. It's not so much in range to be. Okay, then I try to cast Doom with 1 force cards on the heavy bolter.
Okay. I can't do anything, so
Okay, so
I'll have you let it. Yeah.
Okay, and the other 2 warp cards I
Store.
store for the next psychic phase, and that's the end of my second turn.
Okay, we're back at the end of my second movement phase. As you can see, they went on Overwatch after turning because there's a threat lurking inside the mountains. They'll try their luck shooting later on, as will they. They are broken, they are still on Overwatch, they'll shoot. They went on Overwatch as well. And here we'll have close combat fighting because the stormtroopers charged the swooping hawks. Okay, first of all we've got shooting. My heavy bolter is first onto, but only on 6s, the fire dragons. No. And my autocannon is next, but the autocannon will target them also on 6s.
Oh, that's good. Of course, you got a sustain fire dice. 2 hits. I propose 1 on each.
Strength, toughness, yep, on 2s. Both of them.
I think
And it's -3 or 4. You can roll dice if they aren't 6s, they are dead for sure. Okay, 2 are dead and another break test. Onto your army commander.
Back into the warp.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the
9
army
should
commander
be
is
enough.
10.
Yeah. Okay, so can't say one problem solved, but at least reduced. Next we've got the heavy bolter on I think 4th, yeah, the Die Avengers. And second time, this is really bad. It's the 4th failure of 2 hit. Yeah. Okay, maybe it's because of Doom. And now we've only got, if I'm right, only got our close combats left. Let's start the first striking Scorpion, who is attacked by 3 guys.
Okay.
And these are Armageddon Steel Legion,
okay.
So these are stormtroopers freshly engaged in close combat. Okay. The first of them.
I've got 3 plus 4 is 7.
I've got 3, 5, charging 6. You've got 1 hit with your last pistol.
4 plus, no.
The second one, you're lucky.
So it's 4
I've
plus
got
4 is
4,
8,
5.
9, 10.
Yeah. You've got
10.
5 hits with your last pistol.
Okay, 5 hits, 5 times 4 up. 3 hits. Or 3 wounds.
I hope for 3 6s. No, won't happen. So he's dead. And the last one.
Come on, Marcus.
3 dice.
3 times 1. Oh, it's only 2.
Get one from me.
4, 5, 6, 7.
So it's 7, 8, 9.
I've got 7.
So 2 hits.
On 3s because of their hotshot pistols.
Yep.
The -1 save modifier, so I've got a 6 up
6s.
aspect armor save.
No.
Okay.
So the first one is dead. And I'll use my follow-up.
Just resolve the other close combats and then we can move to
Yeah.
the left.
Okay.
This one are
So
2?
Yeah, 2.
Or 1?
I think 2, including...
Okay.
No, it's, yeah, 2. And there's only a single one here, single one there.
Okay, so 2
Okay.
on this one.
First the regular one without the sword.
It's good. 6 plus 4 is 10.
6, 7. So you've got 3 hits.
3 times 4 up, no wound.
Okay.
Then your second attacker, the
It's got
corporal,
yeah,
sword.
and 2 close combat weapons plus second attacker. You've got 4.
This is 8. 9.
1, 1. And I've got 6, 9, 10, 11.
Got 9, 2 hits.
2 hits.
2 times 3 plus 2 wound.
Yeah, both of them 2
6
sixes.
plus,
No.
Saved 1.
So this one is
Okay.
dead. And
And 1 on this one.
and another one on this one.
Okay.
And afterwards I'm going to do the follow-ups. Okay. Just roll. 4 is great.
6 is better. I've got
10.
8.
2 hits. 6
10.
plus 3
Yeah,
is
2
9,
hits,
touching
yeah.
10. One of them, and you've got a 6 plus, no, so he's dead. And the last one, 3,
7.
7, 8.
1 hit.
1 hit. Yep. No. So another one dead, and you need to take another break
Get
test.
a fight with the weapon with this guy.
Yeah, but
But
you
they
need
were
to take a
already in
break
close
test
combat.
because they've already taken 25%.
Oh,
Yeah.
pass it.
So 7, okay.
So this one.
Against the heavy weapon wielding guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got 5.
I've got -1. So I've got 4.
5.
So we've got 1.
Oh, I got 1 more because of her weapon. So
Okay. Yeah.
2
So
times
2.
4 up. Yep.
1.
2 wounds.
So if I don't roll 6s, yeah. So this one is dead. And we can add us. And now we're going to do my follow-up moves. 1,
2 guys will reach him.
2, Sergeant 3, down. And the other one towards that direction.
Okay.
Okay.
Is the melter gun still in play? Yeah.
Skull marker over there. Can we remove?
That.
No, there.
Those 4
Stick rope.
swooping hawks
Yeah.
are that. Oh yeah, my god.
This is these are minor losses.
Okay. I think that was the end of the close combat phase.
Yeah.
So on to the psychic phase.
5, 3 for me. Okay, what would you like to do? I won't do anything.
Okay, I tried to use the Eldritch Storm
Okay,
with 3 force cards.
I'll try to nullify it,
Okay. Now
but
5 up.
it will only work on a 5 plus.
No.
No, so you get the storm.
Okay. We need the Eldritch Storm template.
Okay.
I think it's a 2-inch template or 3-inch template.
Just
Okay.
Yeah.
I can place it anywhere within 24 inch of my Farseer.
Yeah.
So the squad
That's
is
quite
wholly
sensible
within
to keep them from reaching the objective.
range. So I put
Yeah.
it here exactly. And roller scatter dice for any models more than half under the template.
Yeah.
I think the 4 models are on half of the template. If an error is rolled, the model is flung in a direction indicated to the storm's edge and may not move or shoot in the next turn.
Yeah.
If a hit is rolled, the model suffers a strange 3 hit and is flung to the storm's edge as above.
Just
Okay.
roll 3 times.
First one, move to the edge.
Yeah.
Second one, move to the edge. Third one, hit. Fourth one, move to the edge. Okay. Those are moved to the edge. And this one was hit. And he gets a strange 3 hit, meaning he's wounded
course.
on a 4.
No.
No, and is flung to the edge as well.
Yeah. But they're probably knocked out of Overwatch. Or parts of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And this card remains in play. And as long as the Eldritch Storm remains in play, nothing can move, see, or shoot through it. Let's place the power next to it.
I can't do anything because I don't have a Psyker. You can store your cards.
No, I discard them all. Okay, that's the end of your second turn. Okay guys, that's the end of the movement phase after the third turn of the Eldar. My striking scorpions are going to hide, so they can't be shot. The same procedure for the fire dragons, which hide behind the hard cover. My Dark Reapers again on Overwatch. My Avengers moved 4 inches towards the enemy, so 2 of them are now able to see the Catachan squad. They remain in Overwatch, and my Swooping Hawks in close combat. And my Warp Spider moved 13 inches towards the autocannon in order to shoot at the weapon screw with the monofilament spinner. Okay, speaking of shooting,
like to start.
Let's start here. So they are both completely covered.
So 2 rolls. Just roll.
3 plus, both are dead.
I think both are dead, and we can remove it because there's no armor, which would allow them and their Cadians.
1 threat reduced for the avatar.
Okay.
Then he's allowed to jump 5 inches.
Yeah.
And maybe I go into close combat with the weapon guy.
Okay, but there's a sergeant next to. Okay. If you want to do
but
so.
I think if I stay in the open, he will be shot. And 5 inches he can't get back behind cover. And he counts as charging. It's really a quite good unit. You can shoot with them, jump, movement phase and shooting phase, jump into close combat, resolve the close combat.
As long as you don't have capable enemies on Overwatch like Space Marines.
Okay, there's only 1 miniature left, but okay, then the 2 Avengers onto the Catachans.
No, that's bad.
2 6s for this guy, 2 1s for those. Okay, they won't hit.
And our close combat.
And I think we can immediately go to the close combat. So 1 Swooping Hawk against 1 heavy weapon team crew.
No, I've got more guys, so
3.
I may decide who goes first. And I'd say one of the regular guys who did his follow-up move goes first.
They all did their follow-up moves.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 4 plus 4 is 8. 9.
So this one is probably dead because you've got 4 hits. No, 5 hits.
5 hits, 5 times,
hits.
4 up. Yep. 3 times, 6 up.
Okay, I try, but it's just for fun.
One is dead.
So the first one is down. Then the second one.
Normal guy.
A normal guy. Regular guy.
Okay, so again, 4 plus 4 is 8.
I've got
9.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 hit.
1 on 4.
No.
No. And the last one.
The corporal or the heavy weapon?
The corporal.
Okay, 3 plus 4 is 7. 8.
So 1 hit. 1 force. Yep. You've got a 6 plus. No. So
okay,
he's dead.
Last.
And the heavy weapon. Wow. The 1 remaining guy survives and is able.
Okay, I think it's the first aspect squads you completely killed. Okay. And I think this was the is to resolve this close combat. With the Warp Spider, he has also only 1 attack.
Yeah. But you've charged,
But
and you've got a weapon skill of 4.
With hand-to-hand combat blade counts this as a sword. And it's mentioned in the Codex combat blade. But I think it's
Just
not a sword.
Yeah, just look it up later on.
Okay, so 2 plus 4 is 6, charging 7.
And I've only got 5, so you've got 2
hits with a strength of 3, then
probably.
Normal strength in the characteristics. So 4 up to wound, So you've got a normal armor save.
On 6, no.
Okay,
So this one is dead. The autocannon is gone.
And he's doing a follow-up move to the next guy.
To next. Okay.
Okay. That's
On
the
we
end
go.
of the close combat phase and the end of my third turn. No,
But not
psychic
the
phase.
end
Yeah,
of your psychic phase. Yeah.
only one.
One for you.
Okay, I've got a nullifier. So that's definitely the end of my third turn now.
And I'll try to rally my broken troops.
Yep.
Okay, we are back at the end of my third movement phase. I can't do much. They remain in or on Overwatch because of the striking warrior threat. They as well, as do they. They are hidden and can't be targeted anyway. So I've only got one heavy bolter, two heavy bolters left, and maybe two out of these onto the Die Avengers. Let's start with the first heavy bolter, the doomed heavy bolter, to hit on. It's already failed 4 times so far, so it's on a 4. Yep, this time I was lucky. 2 dice.
Can't he shoot twice because of death eye shots?
Yeah, but let's see if... Okay, 4 hits.
One on each, or?
No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Single hit within 4 inches. Yeah. Strength 4 versus toughness 3 should be 2s.
Oh.
Okay, 2 have survived. Probably the last ones.
And 2 ones have...
Yeah.
I think the Die Avengers have a 4+ armor save, so a 6+ armor save.
Yeah.
No.
So 2 are dead. And a break test on the army commander. Okay. And then the next heavy bolter, the one over there. To hit. No. 4 is not enough because we agreed that only one was out in the open and the others are... Yeah. And then we've got...
But 2 of the guys can shoot it then.
Yeah. On 4s.
To hit.
But they've only got less guns. And then there's only a single close combat.
Between. But you are broken, so you won't
Let's just roll.
have a weapon skill of
Yeah.
I don't know what. Ooh.
Okay, so you've got probably...
Also weapon skill of 4.
Okay.
Would be 5. I don't know how broken troops, if they do have...
I think they are counted as having a weapon skill of 0, but I'm not sure. Or is it breaking off from combat once you are... Just roll 5 times.
Broken troops in hand-to-hand combat. The enemy will receive 3 hacks at the broken troops as described in the hand-to-hand combat rules.
Okay, 3 hexes that you get the amount. Yeah. This is less lucky, no? Because you've only got 1 attack.
Mm-hmm. So it hits you
Once.
once.
Although you rolled a difference of 5.
Actually, I don't find the rule concerning the... I just roll once.
Yeah.
2?
No.
Okay.
So
This
they
was the
remain in
last
close combat. Yeah.
And that's the end of the hand-to-hand combat phase.
Psychic phase 5. Another 2 for you, 3 for me. Okay, what would you like to do?
So I decide to cancel the Eldritch Storm
Yeah.
and play it once again
Mm-hmm.
in my turn with Ultimate Force.
Okay, I can't do anything against it.
So once again, I place the template anywhere within 24 inches.
Yeah.
So let's say those 4 are completely covered.
Mm-hmm.
First one is hit. This one is just moved outside. This one is hit and moved outside. This one is moved outside. Okay, those
The
2
hit.
receive a 3 up hit. No. Okay.
think I can discard my force cards.
Yeah, me
Won't
too.
be able to use them. Nothing else?
Yeah,
Okay, so I can remove my nullifier as well. And that's the end of my third turn.
The movement phase, all remain stationary and hidden or in Overwatch, except my avatar moved slightly towards the edge of the cacti forest, whereas my two Avengers moved 5 inches towards the revolter, so they can shoot at it, because it's the closest visible target for them. And speaking of, and my Warp Spider shoots at them with the monofilament gun.
Okay.
In the shooting phase, that's the only two things I do now.
Oh.
Okay, they shoot at the heavy bolter and hit both. So 2 sustained fire dice, 5 hits, that's good. And there was strength of 3 to hit wound. So 4 wounds in total.
Okay, -2, so they're dead.
Okay.
And because of Doom, they
They're
would have
double dead.
suffered lots of wounds.
They're really dead. Okay, then on to my remaining Warp Spider. I think those 4 are completely underneath the template. And they will receive on initiative, they have 3, so I need 3s to kill them because I got +1 because they're wholly covered. So except 1, maybe we roll because this was a melter gun. 1, 2, 3, 4 survived.
Yeah.
Okay, this one survived, so
Okay. So these are dead.
these are dead.
But they're from different squads because this one is a remaining one, the sergeant, the broken sergeant from another squad. Okay.
And then he's doing a follow-up on the last remaining freedom fighter.
And you've got another,
Is
you
it
get
each
another
time?
hit, I think so. Because it says,
Because I entered already the wood.
if freedom fighters are inside a wood or within a building, then each enemy model that moves within the same wood or building is potentially a victim of booby traps. Any enemy model which moves within the area automatically suffers a single strength 3 hit, occurrence, and so on. Come on. So okay, it says it enters, because I've got 2 squads. But okay, let's forget it.
Okay.
On we go.
Yeah, that was the end of the shooting phase. Then we have only the
Close
one
combat.
close combat with the Warp Spider. So I got 3 and you can't. You just roll 1 dice.
2 dice because I've got a sword.
This guy.
Yeah,
It's
it's a sergeant. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a sergeant model of the first squad. I've got 6 and 4.
No, 0 because it's broken.
So I've got 6 plus 0, it's 6.
Okay.
And you've got 7 charging.
7, so 1 hit.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Then you have to flee 2 to 6 inches from me. 7. So 3.5 in the wood. Okay, then on to the psychic phase.
Yeah.
So 6 warp cards are dealt. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, it's bad luck for me.
I will do nothing at the moment.
Okay. I'll discard.
Okay, then that's the end of my 4th turn.
Okay, we're at the end of my 4th movement phase. As you can see, they remained on Overwatch because of the imminent threat of the 2 surviving striking scorpions. They remained on Overwatch as well because they are hidden and can't be targeted. And they remained on Overwatch, whereas the remaining squad members of the squad behind the forest have charged, or at least 3 of them, including the sword-wielding sergeant, or maybe even chainsword or power sword-wielding sergeant, have charged the remaining last successful, a really successful warp spider. And they've advanced in order to keep squad currency. Only 5 of them can shoot at the 2 remaining Die Avengers, and they went on Overwatch as well. Okay, so shooting is first. Let's do these 5. I think the less guns have got +1, so normally they'd hit on 4s, so now it's 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's great. 5 of them. Strength 3 versus toughness 3s on 4s. Oh yeah.
2 would suffice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my armor.
But you've got great
4
armor.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 is dead. And when 1 break test on the army commander, probably 10.
No,
Yeah.
9.
Okay. Yeah. Then we've only got our
1 close
close
combat.
combat left. Let's start with a regular guy. You've got 1 dice,
8,
as have I.
9.
I've got 4, 5, 4 hits.
So strength 3 versus toughness 3 means 4 up to wound. So 3 wounds.
No. It's dead, the first one. And the second one.
7.
8, 9, 10. 3, 8, charging, 9, second attacker, 10. Yeah.
3 hits.
On 4s. 2 of them. And you've got 2 4-ups.
Ooh.
No. So he's dead.
Went back to the warp.
Yeah. And this one is gone from the second squad. Okay.
Then psychic phase.
Psychic phase. 1 card for me. Yeah, we can skip it. And that's the end of my 4th turn.
Okay, last turn of the Eldar. Everything remains stationary. The fire dragons through went on Overwatch in order to shoot maybe at oncoming tanks. I don't know when Marcus will
Which will come for sure.
have a surprise assault. Therefore, they remained in Overwatch 2. The avatar leapt out of the cacti wood and positioned himself onto the objective marker. In an instance, I thought maybe I could throw the vortex grenade to obliterate the target, but I think that's not a fair move. So the avatar went forth, the Farsi a little bit, and they remained in Overwatch. And yeah, that's the end of my movement phase. There is no shooting, so we can immediately go on to the psychic phase, because there's no hand-to-hand combat as well. So 1 warp card for me. And I think I will do nothing.
Okay.
That's the end of my last turn.
Okay, this is my last final round, the movement phase, the end of the movement phase of turn 5. As you can see, most of them have stayed on Overwatch, whereas the first of my 2 tanks approached, although being in the fire arc of 2 out of the 3 Dark Reapers. And that's normally bad luck. My aim was to have something to target the enemy avatar, maybe kill it, gain some victory points. They've already moved, and therefore
Flamer can shoot the remaining Die Avenger.
got into the Overwatch of the Howling Banshees, but the Flamer might be able to kill the last one. And so I've got 1 Heavy Bolter left, 1 Lehman Russ, and 1 Heavy Bolter onto the avatar, but there are 2 Dark Reapers targeting my Lehman Russ.
Shoot at the Lehman Russ.
I get my Daggerfuck.
So,
Yeah.
3s to hit. Oh no, 1 missed.
1 hit. 1 is enough because he doesn't have ablative or reinforced armor.
But I
So
think
just
the
roll where you
critness
hit.
is not so good.
Yeah, it's enough for the tracks and stuff like
Especially
that.
if I
So
hit
just
the
roll where you
turret.
hit.
1.
1 is great, 1 is the tracks, and you only need 16, and you've got D10 plus somewhat
D10 plus D6 plus 8.
Yeah.
So it's 7 plus 8 is 15.
That's not enough because I've got 16.
7 plus 8 is 15.
Okay. And the tracks have got 16.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Because the track missile failed to penetrate the tracks of Philippine Ross.
And that's a real problem against tanks. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So, no close combats left, so let's do the flamer first. Yeah.
Okay. But it's a small flamer template,
Yeah.
normal, but
We
I
just
think
to show,
under the template,
demonstrate.
even if it's the heavy flamer.
Okay, strength toughness on 3s. Yep. This one is gone for sure, it's -2. Yeah. So this one is dead. And now we've got the first heavy bolter onto the avatar. I don't know if it's a large target, just roll. Let's see.
No.
1.
The other heavy bolter? Maybe?
And the other one.
No.
1. That's
Still
really
a 10.
bad. Okay,
No,
my battle
interesting.
can. Yeah. 5 is
Yeah.
great.
That's a direct hit.
And the battle can is tough. Strength toughness. If it's not a 1. Oh, it's a 1. Okay.
Oh my, Marcus.
Lace cannon. 2 hit.
Yeah.
Yep. Strength toughness on 2s or 3s. No, that's bad. And 2 heavy bolters.
Oh my god. None of them hits. Oh my god.
That's really bad. Yeah, I
You
should have
brought your
should have
tanks
spent. Yeah.
maybe a couple of turns earlier. Because the Hellhound didn't arrive at all.
But on the other hand, I think the Hellhound would have been shot if it had approached by either.
Yeah, but I think if you came from this direction, but maybe we discuss a little bit later
Okay.
when we
Yeah.
make the conclusion of
Okay.
the report.
And that's it.
Yeah. Okay, we have calculated victory points, and I have to congratulate Marcus for a
Thank you.
small victory.
Close, yeah.
It was 6-5, 6 points for the Imperial Guard, 5 for the Eldar.
Closer to a draw than a victory.
Yeah, and we just discussed, in my opinion, I thought Marcus should have brought his Hellhound earlier, or indeed he should brought the tank at all, because I think if he moved with fast speed from this edge in Marcus' turn, he would come at least to this point and could have put his Inferno cannon over the fire dragons, because I think they needed 3 turns to reach this position, and he was not in sight of the Dark Reaper, so he wouldn't have been able to shoot at him. So maybe you bought the tank and used it not at all.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I was really lucky to kill the assassin with my Dark Reapers, because the assassin would have caused havoc against my
This was
my
my
Warp
plan,
Spiders.
and especially as he caused fear, maybe he would have succeeded in some of your troops running away, having lower weapon skills or stuff like that. I really thought that he would be able to hinder or maybe even kill your Warp Spiders.
No.
And I was disappointed, of course, as he died without having just
Caused any
spent the
hits,
first
no.
of his poison. Oh.
But in the Eldar army, I thought the Howling Benches were very useless, because they remained the whole battle stationary in the crystal wood.
And the worst unit were the Swooping Hawks. I was really disappointed,
I think
even
they
as
called
an enemy.
3 or 4 guardsmen.
Yeah.
They
5
first
superior
they,
warriors with
first
weapon
they
skill of
tried
4.
to shoot with their grenade launcher and less guns, and then in close combat they didn't succeed in killing the weapon team. Whereas the Warp Spiders were quite successful.
Yeah.
Of course, they were wiped out in the end, but I think they really caused a lot of harm, and they killed the autocannon and the 2 Imperial Guard squads.
Maybe we should use them more often. We haven't included them in our 400-point Warhammer army list, or in the 1,000-point standard army list for our smaller 40k games. But
Cost
they're
a
really
relatively
great.
pricey. They cost, I think, 41 points per model. So if you have 4, it's 204 points. That's
Yeah, you can get lots of guardians and
with
maybe
+10
even a
fire,
war walker.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
On
I
the
think-
other hand, they can kill a Space Marine captain. Yeah.
yeah. And the Farseer, yeah, I think he should have moved more towards the enemy to use his offensive powers more effectively. But it was really a danger because of the weapons of the Imperial Guard, which maybe because he has only his rune armor,
It was a gamble.
it's quite vulnerable.
I used the Imperial Guard players' original army list and they sacrificed the Psyker in favor of lots of heavy weapons and tanks and stuff like that. And therefore, I think most of the Eldar had to think twice before advancing into my Arc of Fire.
Okay, but in the end, the Imperial Guard won the battle, and as in the White Dwarf. But I think the White Dwarf was even a more disaster because I think it was Iron Pickstock who used his Hellhound in the first turn, and I thought he killed almost 10 Aspect Warriors with the Inferno Cannon. And the Assassin was more successful. I think the Assassin killed 2 Dark Reapers before
Okay.
the Assassin was slain by the Avatar, but it lasted for 2 or 3 turns, so the Avatar was entangled in close combat and the Imperial Guard reached the objective marker
So
in the
the-
end, so they won really decisively.
At least succeeded in stopping the Avatar.
And Adrian Wood said in his after-battle briefing that next time maybe he would include an Exarch or something like that, because that was really missing. I've only, quote-unquote, Aspect Warriors and no mobile Exarch like the Swooping Hawk Exarch, for example. I think he would prove better than those 5 Swooping Hawks.
To be honest, compared to our standard 1000 point list, they lack some powers. Because we would have had a Dark Reaper Exarch, a Swooping Hawk with a Power Fist, and even the Imperial Guard. If I had written this list, I would have included some close combat guys, Ogrins, or maybe Commissar with Power Fist, Displacer Field, and completely different. Because they cost a lot, but Freedom Fighters is nothing compared to hardened.
To be honest,
hardened
because
fighters
of the Freedom Fighters, I didn't risk entering the ruin here because I always thought, okay, it's strength 3 hits versus toughness 3 against Eldar, so maybe my whole squad would be vaporized by the booby trap. So
maybe this one was great, but I would have chosen Dead-Eye Shot instead of Slick-Root, because if you don't hit, Slick-Root is for naught. Whereas Dead-Eye Shot allows you to roll a second time.
But nevertheless, I think it was quite nice that we could show you all my beautiful painted Aspect Warriors, because we always use Striking Scorpions and the Swooping Hawks. Now you have seen the Fire Dragons,
and especially this
the
one.
Dark Reapers, the Howling Banshees, the Dire Avengers, and the Warp Spiders, of course.
Great new piece of terrain.
And my Cacti. Okay.
And maybe we'll be back with another battle for the 30th anniversary of Warhammer 40k 2nd edition.
Okay, guys, bye. See you next time.